Hi, I'm Mark, and I'd like to tell you about a book that I'm working on at the moment called The Creative Wound: Healing Your Broken Art. In it, I'm exploring the importance of creativity and how to recover ours when damage has been done to it. I'm drawing on over a quarter of a century of creative industry experience and condensing that into the book that I wish I'd have had available to read decades ago. It was Picasso who famously said that every child is an artist. The problem is how to remain an artist once we grow up. So what happens when we reach adulthood? Where does the art go? Is it just a product of human maturity? Or is it the influence of something else that's more insidious? The answer for many of us is that we've been wounded. Wounded by friends, wounded by enemies, having our work rejected by the authorities and disdained by the system we find our lives caught up in. A culture that tolerates rather than celebrates our creativity. Not limited to age or gender or ability, a creative wound is indiscriminate. It cuts, it tears, it sears, and if left unattended, it festers until something essential to you as a human being dies. It happens when an event or someone's actions or words pierce us, causing a kind of rift in the soul. And the result is that we can end up believing that whatever we make is somehow tainted or invalid. When creativity is shut down, so is our freedom to think clearly, to reason freely, and to offer imagination and innovation to our world. And don't be fooled, you are easier to control if you stop believing that you are creative. In order for ourselves and our children to flourish, we must take our creativity back. And this is a manifesto for doing just that. It's my hope to put tools into your hands and ideas into your head in order that you might experience restored wholeness and confidence in relation to your creative life. There are lots of motivational books out there, but this really isn't one of those. It's pointless offering motivation to an athlete to run faster if she's got a broken leg. And in the same way, it's pointless offering motivation to an artist who's suffering a broken heart. As artists, we put our heart into what we do. It's the seat of all our creativity. But if our heart gets shattered, then we lose all creative power. You may have struggled to put words around what it is that you're experiencing and have been suffering in silence maybe for many years. But deep down you know that if only the damage would heal, then freedom of movement would return and you'd discover what it is that you're truly capable of. You have almost certainly listened this far because you agree with me in that creativity matters, and you're likely aware there's even been a battle over yours. To crush creativity is to crush an individual's spirit. So will you join me and fight fiercely for our creative hearts? Not for the love of the fight, but for the love of what we would lose if we surrender. So who exactly am I and what's my experience? I appreciate that you'd want to know the credentials of a surgeon before they cut you open, so here's a little bit about me. For over 25 years now, I've worked in and around the creative industries in the UK. I've run my own business for 13 years, and before that was hired by a number of creative agencies, progressing from junior right through to various management positions. And my work's been trusted by household names such as the BBC, ITV, Sky, The Independent, Telegraph, The Guardian, Radio Times, Cunard Shipping, Penguin Books, Parcel Force, Tony and Guy, PlayStation Magazine, and the most illustrious of all, the team that I support, Hull City Football Club. Maybe not quite the most illustrious of all, but you get the idea. I've said all that to say this. Over the years I've been around a lot of art, design, photography, pictures, words, video, music, and I've met a lot of creative people, hundreds, maybe even thousands of fellow creative souls, and I've met a lot who've suffered from crippling creative wounds. I've also had the privilege of walking with many of these friends, colleagues and clients through to a place of restoration where they were again able to produce exceptional and satisfying work. I have one chapter left to write, and the book is due out before the end of 2018. If what I've said's resonated with you, then I'd love to be able to stay in touch. So I invite you to sign up to my email list so I can do just that. I'm planning other stuff beyond the book itself, including podcasts, conversations with special guests regarding the subject matter that we're talking about, and we can perhaps go even deeper. So thank you for listening. I appreciate your time. And before I go, if there's anything at all that you think that I can help you with, any questions, any queries regarding what we've spoken about today, then feel free to send me a message via the website, get into the contact form at revelator.co.uk. Send me a message and I promise I'll get back to you. Thanks very much. Cheers now. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm Mark.